Hello you guys, my name is Amanda and this video has been long awaited. It's taken me a while to kind of get my thoughts together because I'm kind of notorious for not really knowing what I want to do. I'm super indecisive, kind of go in whatever direction I'm feeling for that day, and then the next day I could be wanting something completely different. Looking through all of the questions you guys asked me about like my life update, like what I was planning on doing after graduating college and everything, I realized that the title of this video applies a lot to what I'm feeling right now. I'm currently going through a quarter life crisis. I had no idea that was the term for it. I used to joke around and say like, oh my god, I'm going through this midlife crisis right now and I'm only in my 20s. And then I realized there's an actual thing that's very similar to a midlife crisis. And no, it's not me like quitting my job and then buying a red Ferrari. I'm gonna pull up the definition because I don't want to mess it up or anything. But basically, in popular psychology, a quarter life crisis is a crisis involving anxiety over the direction and quality of one's life, which is most commonly experienced in a period ranging from a person's 20s up to their mid-30s. So if this is your first time watching my channel, my name's Amanda, what's up? I'm currently 22 years old and I just graduated from college about a month ago, I think. I got my bachelor's in nutrition and most of my classmates had the route of applying to a dietetic internship, becoming registered dietitians, and then doing something, I don't know. Also, I'm trying Dutch Bros for the first time. My brother got it for me because he's the best ever, and it's pretty good. So a little background about me, and maybe if you are in your mid-20s as well, maybe we can relate on this. So a lot of the reasons why I'm at where I'm at today is because I kind of followed what everyone else was doing in high school. I got good grades in school, I took AP classes, I got into a good college, and that was just what everyone else was doing. So knowing what I was doing next was really easy because I just looked at what everyone else was doing around me and it kind of seemed like the norm, you know? So being in college, I had a really interesting financial situation. My dad passed away my third year in college, so I started to hustle a lot more and I realized that I needed to do a lot more than what I was doing right now. A lot of people don't even know this, but YouTube has been really my main source of income. That's how I paid for college. A huge blessing, and I'm extremely lucky that this entire YouTube, I guess, career of mine has helped me go to school, because I mean I would not have been able to do it on my own. I didn't really want it to seem like a job, because what I've found is when YouTubers kind of see YouTube as like their job, it kind of takes away the joy of filming and editing and making videos and, you know, posting content online. So I worked 2 jobs in college, like YouTube, I guess if you want to call it that. And I worked as a dietetic intern like around my college. And when I took that job as a dietetic intern, I did it for a few months, like around I think 7 or 8 months. It made me realize that I really didn't want to do an office job. And I think that's what really, I guess, kickstarted my personal quarter life crisis. And I realized this office job wasn't for me when I would wake up and I dreaded going to work. I loved my boss, I loved my coworker, and everything was great, but it seemed so energy draining. I also picked up terrible eating habits. I would eat like a Cliff Bar for breakfast and maybe another Cliff Bar for lunch, and then I'd come home to have dinner. I was bloated the entire time. I'd had the worst digestion. I gained weight. That job was not for me and it wasn't giving me any meaning. So I had to let it go. Because this job caused a lot of stress in my life, it made me realize that I didn't want to apply to a dietetic internship right away, which was a really scary decision to make because, like, I'm not even joking, maybe 85% of my classmates were applying to dietetic internships. That's pretty scary to not follow the norm, you know, to like do something completely different, because there's no guarantee that you're gonna have success down the line or if you're gonna have some sort of like security. I felt stuck and I wasn't happy, so I started to look into different job opportunities that kind of related to nutrition. So I told myself, you know what, I like social media, I like YouTube, I like Instagram and Twitter. I should be a social media coordinator or like some sort of marketing specialist. But then I realized I had no experience in any of those two besides my own channels. It's definitely like, you know, jumping into a Shark Tank with no guarantee of surviving, basically, if they hired me. And then after, you know, applying to a few jobs, not getting any, and I was like, okay, maybe this isn't the job for me. And then I thought, okay, I love food. Why not become a chef. So I looked into culinary schools and I researched it for I think about 2 or 3 months, and one that I really wanted to do is in Los Angeles, and I wanted to do it so much I spent $85 to send in my application. I took a tour of the school. I got an apartment in LA with 2 other roommates. Like, I was committed. I talked with financial aid, and then I realized I couldn't get any financial aid, and I was stuck with the decision of getting out a loan for $25,000, and that's me never having worked in a restaurant before. And then I realized, okay, maybe that's not the right choice, you know? So now I'm here with my family in Phoenix, just chilling, and I'm still moving to LA. I've felt very defeated, and I've compared myself a lot to my friends and what they're currently doing right now. It makes me realize that, you know, me just sitting here and not doing anything isn't really bringing joy to me. A lot of my friends have job offers. I have a lot of other friends that are traveling all across the world, that are in Asia, in Europe, doing their thing, just trying to travel as much as they can before they start work. I have other friends that are having babies and getting married, and I'm over here like single AF. You know what I realized after all of that comparing to others? A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, do not know what they're doing. So stop comparing yourself to others and start doing what you want to do and what's going to make you happy. Boom. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So that's basically what I'm going through right now. That's kind of like the life update. And for any of you that are currently going through a quarter life crisis right now and are currently feeling lost and maybe a little defeated as well, I have 3 tips that I want to just share with you guys to kind of like push you through this whole crisis. So number 1 is find meaningful work. Like for me, I could easily work at like a vegan restaurant in LA because I love food, I love cooking, and I'd love to work in a restaurant and see how it is. But I personally wouldn't work at, let's say, like a clothing store, like, I don't know, Free People. I love Free People, I love wearing their clothes, but I wouldn't work at a department store because I hate the idea of like folding clothes and taking people to like, you know, dressing rooms and blah blah blah. Find work that will make you happy and will actually bring you more towards your end goal. Tip number 2 is know how much money you need to make every month so you're not overworking yourself, you know, or you're undershooting. I mean, you want to have fun as well if you're like still in your like early 20s or your 30s. So look at your rent, look at how much you owe in bills, and see how much you need to save every month to stay afloat and to not be stressed about your work. And at the same time, know how much you can give yourself at the end of every week or so you can go out to your favorite restaurant or something. And the number 3 is be patient. And this is one of the biggest things that I've had to learn myself. For a lot of people, success does not come overnight. The feeling of not knowing what's going to come next is just extremely annoying. With time, you'll figure out what you want to do. So just be patient with life and take every day as it comes. I guess I'm going through my quarter life crisis right now, but I'm not as stressed as I used to be. As of right now, I'm kind of just taking a few months off. I'm just going to be working on YouTube, working on developing my own recipes, and that's just something I've always wanted to do for the longest time. So I did say that this was also going to be a bit of a Q&A. One of the biggest ones was what's next for you since you've graduated, and my family moved to Phoenix. I've been with them for a month, then I'm going to move to LA and just do my thing over there for a few months. Another question was, are you going to culinary school? I decided I'm not going to go, which is really sad, but I know it's not a good decision to put myself $25,000 in debt. YouTube has helped me make enough money to pay off my tuition as the quarters went along. So now I graduated from college with no debts, no loans to pay off, so I am a free woman, and that's pretty exciting. So I really don't want to like take out a loan of thousands of dollars and put myself under all that stress. Another big question, and I always get asked this question, it's, are you single? If yes, do you find it lonely sometimes? I've been single for, God, forever. I believe 4 years now. It's honestly not as lonely as maybe it seems. Being single just seems so normal to me. Like the idea of having a boyfriend is really weird. I don't know why. Another question was, how many relationships have you been in? Honestly, like 0. I'm not even kidding. I've been in 2 relationships, and they were both in high school. One was my freshman year and one was my junior year, and they were both like under a month long, and I didn't even kiss either of them. Like the most we did was like hold hands and talk. Like I'm not even joking. So that's why I'm saying like they weren't really boyfriends, like they weren't like serious relationships at all. So I've never been in a serious relationship, I guess. But that doesn't mean like I've never ever talked to men before in my entire life. I've definitely had my fair share of like little like things with guys here and there. The title of boyfriend and girlfriend is, it's a lot. And then another thing that people asked was, why do you think it's been hard for you to meet the right one? Are you scared of love? And when I read this, I kid you not, I was like, oh shoot, am I actually afraid of love? So when there's like a really, really nice guy in my life and it starts to feel more of a relationship, I kind of tend to push myself away. I stop texting them back. I won't answer their FaceTime calls. I'm a really, you know, secluded person. I've grown up pretty introverted. I don't know, I'd say maybe I'm not ready for a relationship or something, but I mean, when the time comes, I'll let you guys know. Another question I got asked was, what is the main thing you wished you knew before going to college? I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget it. I have 3 big things. Number 1, social life is a huge part of your college experience. And I say this because, I mean, I mentioned a little bit ago, quite shy. I tend to be a little bit of an introvert, and I'm also very lazy. I'm a homebody. I like to stay home and watch movies. If you're into that too, we'd be a perfect pair. That being said, I'm not saying like you have to join a fraternity or a sorority to make friends. That's not at all what I'm saying. But like, look into organizations, look into clubs, look into like your dorms. Having a little bit of a social life, I'd say, is a big part of like being happy in college. Number 2, beer and liquor have a lot more calories than you think. I was freshly vegan. Is that properly said? I was a new vegan. Yes, there you go. And I thought like there's no way I'm gonna gain those freshman 15 because I'm such a healthy vegan. Throughout college, I definitely gained a good amount of weight because I drank a lot of beer and a lot of alcohol. Number 3, all-nighters suck. Like so bad, and they're really bad for your health as well. I'm a huge procrastinator, and I know a lot of you guys are too, but trust me, you are going to love yourself if you do things ahead of time, little by little. I think the most I've done was I pulled, I think 2 or 3 all-nighters in 1 week. It was the like worst I've ever felt. I felt sick, if anything. Like, it was terrible. Oh my god, my brother and my sister just come back from somewhere. Did they get Chipotle without me? I'm filming right now. I think I've ranted enough for like a long time, so I'm gonna end the video right here. But basically, thank you guys for listening to me and, you know, giving you my little life update. If you are currently going through a quarter life crisis, it's super, super common, so don't even sweat about it. Take every day as it comes, and I promise you, answers will come if you be patient. Thanks again, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!